Lebanon is full of magic. You have to explore it to really know what it's all about. Lebanese people are famous for their legendary hospitality, attached to their traditions, yet open to all kinds of cultures. In the same day, you can travel down centuries of history, or go shopping just like in the most prestigious towns of the world. A visit to Lebanon is a jump into the past and a journey into the future in a dazzling and friendly setting. Lebanon has multiple origins. It has been shaped by 6,000 years of history. It all started with its illustrious ancestors, the Phoenicians, who lived in the country 3,000 years BC and founded the greatest Lebanese cities. In 1943, Lebanon is proclaimed an independent state. Spread over 10,452 square meters, the country is full of incredibly various reliefs and landscapes. Lebanon is totally surrounded by the Mediterranean, with kilometers of beaches and mountains overlooking the sea. Lebanon is at a crossroads between Europe, Africa and Asia, in the Oriental Mediterranean basin, which makes it a real mosaic of natural environments. Nature is one of Lebanon's great assets. All kinds of activities related to ecotourism are possible. Long, peaceful rides are also quite appreciated in order to explore Lebanese nature in all its aspects. Beirut is surrounded by the Mediterranean. The Corniche, following the seafront, is one of the most pleasant places in the city. Walkers, joggers, bread and coffee vendors mingle there in a very lively and exciting atmosphere. Beirut has a special and a very personal modern touch that will always surprise you. The amazed visitor will be able to discover many different architectures and take part in the international fairs and events that are organized all year round. Discover the richness of the city centre, where churches and mosques stand around the precious unearthed ruins of the ancient city. Beirut is obviously a busy city. The greatest international organisations are represented, and the economic life is very dense. Prestigious fashion and jewellery boutiques, as well as food outlets, are found everywhere in Beirut. Large shopping centres also await the tourist, who will be able to find everything they need and much more. You can either choose to go for a swim on a sandy beach or enjoy the ultimate luxury of Lebanon's highly modern summer resorts. Everything in Lebanon can be paid for in Lebanese lira or in American dollars. All international credit cards are accepted. Cash dispensers are also found in most banks. Since 1997, the National Museum is open daily except Mondays. Among many other objects, statues, ceramics and jewellery found in Tyre, Saida or Beirut, you can discover a Harems Sarcophagus, dating from the 10th century BC and found in Byblos. Located at 43 kilometers from Beirut, Beit Adin is a city in the High Lebanese Shuf. In the 19th century, Emir Shahab built a wonderful palace here. It is one of the most stunning examples of the Lebanese architecture. Deir el-Kamar village is full of narrow streets and traditional stone houses. The village has an interesting wax museum where great names of Lebanese history are represented. The Bekaa is a high plateau between Mount Lebanon and Anti-Lebanon. Today, it's still a land of agriculture and breeding. The Bekaa also offers enchanting sceneries, as well as many ancient sites like Hermel Pyramid, Anjar's Umayyad city, and of course, Baalbek. Baalbek's archaeological site is world famous. From 1955, Baalbek Festival organizes festivals in the very heart of the ruins, which make Baalbek a special place for international cultural exchanges. Zakhli City is built at the riverside, and you can enjoy the reputed gastronomy of one of the numerous restaurants here. Lebanon is a gourmet heaven. The most famous Lebanese meal is definitely the meze. All these delights are, of course, accompanied by Arabic bread. Nightlife is very lively, especially in Beirut, where tourists can enjoy all kinds of entertainments. Movie theatres show the latest international films in their original versions, along with Arabic and French subtitling. Theatres propose different local and international plays for the tourists to choose from, besides concerts, operas and traditional music. Since its creation, the Beirut Festival offers a remarkable diversity in its programmes, and this applies to both the show's cultural origin and art forms. Saida is a particularly lively city. One of the many interesting medieval monuments that can be visited here is the Castle of the Sea. Walking across Saida's souks is a real moment of pleasure. Religious monuments and khans are among the must-see places in this endearing little town, where you can taste fresh fish and famous sweets. Tyre is the fourth Lebanese city. Located at 83 kilometers south of Beirut, it was one of the largest cities of ancient Phoenicia. Thanks to the excavations that were undertaken in this site, we can now see the remains of Crusader, Arabic, Byzantine and Greco-Roman cities. Tyre is today a picturesque city, with archaeological ruins that attract tourists just as much as the city's superb protected beaches bordered with orange groves. Lebanon benefits from a Mediterranean climate, with about 300 sunny days per year. During the summer heat, the Lebanese mountains can be a wonderful escape with their pure, refreshing climate. In winter, temperatures are usually over 10 degrees Celsius on the coast, but in some areas, cold can be as freezing as in the Alps. Nevertheless, the sun often shines during the winter season, which allows all kinds of winter sports. September is ideal for visiting the country. It is possible to swim until the month of October. Autumn season in Lebanon is also very pleasant. The coast dives into the sea and opens onto Junieh Bay. Junieh is a picturesque village for holidays and relaxation. It's also full of gorgeous private summer resorts. The road following the seaside is bordered by all kinds of entertainment places. Our Lady of Lebanon rises at the top of Harissa. Cable cars leave Junieh and climb up to this place of pilgrimage and offering a breathtaking view of Junieh Bay. Jata Grotto is a geological treasure, sculptured by water's flow. Tourists can discover it by boats that meander in the middle of stony marvels. The magic of this site has made it one of the most visited in the country. Located at 37 kilometers at the north of Beirut, Byblos offers a typical Lebanese architecture. Byblos is the birthplace of the alphabet. It is where the Phoenicians invented it and spread it across the whole of the Mediterranean. They left their traces in a gigantic archaeological site that is located near the souks. Here, the walker can dive into the Lebanese spirit, while wandering across the streets of the restored medieval souk. Batroun's fishing port, well known since ancient times, still supplies the city with fish. When you're in the village, you'll have an unobstructed view of the majestic seawall, a remain from a gigantic ancient quarry and a natural dike. From Sheka to Tripoli, and all the way through Enfi, the magnificent beaches have turned the coast into the ultimate place for swimming and water sports, which you can practice in many luxury places. Tripoli is the second city in Lebanon. It offers a rich Islamic heritage that is visible in its numerous old mosques, as well as in its medieval souk. Tripoli is famous for its craftsmen who create copper products, clothing, olive oil soap and jewelry. Almina is the other center of the city. Located at the seaside, this peninsula is ideal for a nice walk among the many restaurants and shops. St. Giles Citadel has overlooked the city since the Crusader period. You can explore the architectural traces of the different governors of the city, mainly the Mamelukes. Padishah is a holy valley where disciples of Saint Maroon chose to hide in the past, and where thousands of convents were built. Each cave has sheltered a religious community or hermitage. With its 1,400-meter altitude, Bishari dominates the Kadisha Valley. This typical and very charming village is famous for being the birthplace of the famous poet Gibran Khalil Gibran and his family. Dive into the incredible diversity of Lebanon. Explore the indescribable pleasures of this little nature and history concentrate. And most of all, surrender to the enchanting atmosphere of this unique country. Then you'll know what the Lebanese joy of life, magic and generosity is all about.